Hello and welcome to Boring Dad Gaming, where today we're going to be playing a new demo on the channel. This is HeistGeist, another demo that's been released on Steam as part of the Next Fest that's going on in February. And this one is pretty interesting. It's by a Slovakian studio. I think there's a four-man team there. It's kind of a cross between something like Grifflands, with a bit of Slay the Spire, and they also say they're inspired by stuff like Shadowrun in terms of setting, and there's also some hacking stuff going on, but it's largely done through the medium of card decks. I had a quick play of it before, and I thought it was pretty interesting, so let's dive into a new game. Istro City Blues. Alex sighed. Ever since that botched run in Venice, things have gone to shit. She was no closer to finding the prototype than she was a week ago. With only 2 weeks left, the looming deadline was hanging above her as a sort of Damocles. The client was getting quite impatient, and there's no telling what they might do, if they get even angrier with her. Huh, Alex chuckled to herself, as if things could get any worse. As she continued walking through the deserted nighttime docks deep in her thoughts, Alex almost ran straight into the line of sight of a security drone. Cursing her lack of focus, she quickly looked around for a way around it. She can't afford the risk of being followed to Kasaba's boat. The whole point of a secret hideout is that no one knows you're there. So we've got a choice here. Last time I tried to hide behind the shipping containers and ended up in a fight. So let's try what happens when I hide behind the crane this time. Alex managed to sneak behind the crane just in time before the drone turned round. As she looked around, she saw no way of continuing on her way while maintaining cover. A little typo there. Maybe it's finally time for a more proactive approach, Alex thought to herself. Drawing her blade, she stepped towards the drone. Okay, so we still get combat this time. I'm going to skip the tutorial though. Oops, no I didn't. I did the exact opposite of skipping, didn't I? But I'll close these quick. So it's card-based combat. There's some interesting ideas though. I quickly run through it. So a lot of the stuff is fairly standard for the genre. If you've played any other games like this, we have action points down here. We got 3 to play with. Card cost is in the top left, so we got 1, we got 0, we got another 1. We've got a health bar. This drone has a shield of 5. As far as I've played it, they don't regain that per turn, but it's an initial thing we've got to chew through to get to his HP. The interesting thing it does relates to these little letters here. So we've got A, B and C, and these cards will do different combos depending on what order you play things in. So say we started off with an A. You see that at the bottom it says if following a B, you'll also draw a card when you play this. If you do a B card, if it follows an A, we can gain haste. It says haste. At the start of the character's turn, they received X AP more above their current maximum HP. So next turn we'd have 4 AP to play with, so 3 if we play that after this card, which we'll probably do. Or we could gain an AP this turn if we followed it with this one. And if C follows a B, it'll double its damage to 6. So let's do that in this order. Let's do a slash, dealing just 1 damage initially. It's a free cost card. It's not too bad. As you see, we did 1 damage to its shield. I'm going to follow it up with a quick attack here. I'm going to gain haste next turn, which sounds pretty good. And then we played a B, so we're going to play it with this big finisher, and it should deal 6 to it. And it did, so it's got 6 HP remaining. We can actually do another one on our turn. Oh yes, because the first one was free, wasn't it? So this tells us what we played last. We played a C. However, no more combos really follow that. So let's actually give ourselves 2 shield. And there we go. So we're going to end our turn there. The enemy's slowing us. If I had to guess, I would say that's going to counteract our haste. And yeah, it seems to be they've cancelled each other out. So we've got 6 HP to go through. We could get some card draw. You can only ever have 5 in your hand at a time, though. We could play this and discard a card. But maybe getting another AP would be good. So maybe we'll play a B first. So we'll do that for free. We'll do that. I mean, it's going to have 1 health after this attack, so it doesn't really matter. Sure. I'm probably going to play this free one to deal the 1 damage we need. And there we go. So that was the tutorial battle. Very easy, really, but it does explain some of the mechanics. Walking home. The drone crashed to the wet ground with sparks flying in all directions. Luckily, there was no one around to hear that, sparing Alex of any more trouble. She grabbed the now-defunct drone and dragged it across the ground to the edge of the pier. Best if no one finds you so close to the hideout, she thought to herself, as she kicked the drone into the dark waters of the Danube. For the rest of the way, Alex was more vigilant. After a short while, she finally arrived to the part of the docks where Caroline, Kasaba's boat, was anchored. Carol said he had a job lined up for them. It's time to get back to work.
Sasha, good thing you're here. Everything all right? You look kind of spent, if you don't mind me saying.
Ran into a recon drone on my way here, but it's been dealt with. You got any news for me?
I did some digging, made some calls, and I believe I found a code breaker that fits Zoya's specs.
Are we going to buy it? We are not exactly well off right now.
Yeah, not really. You see, it's not exactly a common tool, and it's highly illegal to have it, unless you're a private army or a security corps. But if a company like that would happen to go bankrupt, all of its assets get frozen. They are then securely stored until all the legal settlements take place. Sometimes that can take years. Luckily for us, there should be a decommissioned military-grade codebreaker stored safely in one of the Yggdrasil archives here in the city. With a few updates and a bit of Zoya's magic, it should be up to snuff.
Sounds good. Nice work, Karal.
So it's just saying, welcome to the demo. So we're going to start in our sort of hub, which is Kasaba's boat. We'll see more of that in a second. There's going to be a city map where you can select missions. And in missions themselves is where it gets a bit more Slay the Spire, and that they're sort of branching paths which have different effects, different outcomes. And a bit Shadowrun in the terms that we're going to see some of the hacking stuff as well. So let's go. We could have a quick look at the deck builder. Is there anything we haven't got in the deck at the moment? I would doubt it. And in my brief time with the demo, I didn't get any more cards yet. We can talk to the dog.
Hey there, girl.
You can talk in quite a lot of exposition and stuff, but I'm just going to pet the dog.
Who's the good girl?
Alright, that'll do. But you can see the dog's got two little mechanical legs, poor little thing. That's Carol, the fixer. You can talk to him.
Sasha!
So you can talk to all these people. I'm not going to do that right now, but you can. This is Zoya, who got mentioned. She's our hacker who's going to go into the mission with us. There's other things we could potentially do here, but I think they're locked for the demo. But let's go and look at the missions. And there is one demo mission here. Magnum Opus. Infiltrate the Yggdrasil remote data center and extract the data from the mainframe. So we're going to click on that. The plan. The mission is to infiltrate the Yggdrasil remote data center, retrieve the codebreaker from one of the servers, and exit undetected. Zoya will enter the grid under the guise of being a student of environmental sciences through a terminal in the public section. And it's worth reading this, and we'll see why in a minute, but you've got to sort of try and remember some of these details. Alex, meanwhile, will get access to the restricted area where valuable assets are stored. So we're going to start the mission.
Our target is a decommissioned codebreaker stored on one of the servers in the Yggdrasil archives. To get our hands on it, we need to infiltrate the restricted area in the upper levels and download it manually.
The problem is that each server is isolated and accessible only through a dedicated terminal. So we need to pinpoint the exact server with our goods on it first.
And how are we gonna do that? Well, we can't access the grid from the outside.
That's where you come in, Zoya. You'll enter the public section posing as a student of environmental sciences. Using a forged ID, you'll register for membership access to the study rooms.
Yes! And I will use the study terminal there to hack into the registry and locate the codebreaker. Got it.
Right. Meanwhile, I'll make my way into the restricted area in the upper levels, where the servers are located. I download the stuff, hit the elevator down, and no one will be the wiser.
I should be able to access their security systems from the same terminal. I can clear out the way for you.
But both of you, be extra careful. If anything, and I mean anything, smells fishy, you run for the exit. Capiche?
Yes, don't worry. I'll be careful.
Right, that's all. Any questions? Good. We leave in 30.
Okay, so here's our mission map, and we can switch between Team A, which is Alex, and Team B, which is Zoya. And they kind of have to work together to get to our ultimate goal here, the Codebreaker, which is what we're looking for. So let's start off as Alex. This is where our first branching path comes in. We can face a choice or go to a fight. I'm going to try a choice. Getting in through the window. As the garage entrance seemed too risky, Alex looked for an alternative way into the archives. The windows on the ground floor seemed like a promising option. We could try and... I looked for an open window before and it took us into a fight, so let's try to crack the locks on one of the windows. This building within the archive complex has the weakest security of the three. As Alex works on the lock, she spots a figure passing by the window. She ducks down quickly to avoid detection. Once inside, she makes a mental note to be a little more careful next time. Okay, so we managed to avoid a fight, and we can see here alertness. And every time we move on a node, basically, this is going to increase, indicates how much your target is aware of your presence and increases with every move. We can't proceed any further as Alex at the moment because we've got a barrier here that we're going to need to use Zoya to get around. So we're going to go into Zoya's path. Zoya entered the lobby of the archive's public section. Even though she's quite removed from the danger of the mission, she couldn't help feeling nervous about the whole enterprise. Taking a deep breath, she walked towards the reception desk to get her registration sorted out. I'm going to hand the man at reception our forged ID card. He takes the polycarbonate card from Zoya and starts to fill out the registration form. She had memorized her new identity and answered his questions without any issues, until he asked a seemingly casual question about her field of study. She froze, her mind going blank as she struggled to remember her cover story. What was it? So this is where you kind of remember the mission briefing. So you got a multiple choice here of what our background story is, but we remember that it's environmental studies. Zoya knew that the key to a successful lie was in the details. She started talking about the topic of her current research, but she quickly noticed that the clerk, despite his polite nodding, clearly wasn't listening to anything she said. With a well-rehearsed smile, he handed her a membership card and wished her a pleasant evening. Let's continue. Okay, so alertness up again. We're going to go to the study rooms. Zoya entered the study room, noting the placement of all the cameras and exits. The room was almost empty, save for a few students either sleeping or too engrossed in studies that they paid her no mind. She quickly identified a console with a clear view of anyone approaching and sat down to it. Going to log in. After logging in, she dutifully entered multiple queries for reports about various environmental incidents to make the logs from her console look believable. She then proceeded to secretly connect her deck to the machine. The grid awaits. Now we're going to enter. Don't need to worry about this. So in hacking, it's similar. We got similar cards. To capture nodes, you have to reduce this sort of red shield number to 0. And then you capture it. But if you do more damage than is required, you'll actually destroy the node, and you can destroy your objectives and indeed destroy your path and chances of proceeding. So you need to be quite careful at what we're doing. But we have some things we can do here. There doesn't seem to be any action point minimum in this hacking mode. Basically, we can keep going, I think, until we run out of cards. So we have Zmev here, and a lot of these things, like Kikimora, I recognise from the Witcher games. So I think a lot of these things are from Eastern European folklore. So this will do 5 damage to a node. We only need to do 4, so that's overkill. Mora, we can damage for 1, so that's not enough. We can just capture target node, which seems pretty good. This is a bit more card draw. A Kikimora we can do for 3. So we have a choice here. We can either do the 4 damage, or see if we can just capture it with this. I'm going to try this, because I didn't use this before. There we go, we've captured it. Brilliant. It's a little bit of trouble now because I can't do 2 damage to this. So let's try and draw some cards instead. Strigger's good because Strigger will do 2 damage, so that's perfect. So we'll do the 2 damage to here, and we've completed that objective. We're going to jack out. There's nothing else to do here, so we're now free to move on to our next stage. So this is more a hacking tutorial. There's a troll bridge has been introduced. Destroying the bridge will make nodes connected to it inaccessible. We have to capture again to remove the troll. So again, destroying bad, capturing good. Here we have two objectives. We'll try and do both. One is sort of camera systems and stuff. Let's try and do that first. So the Kikimora, Lesovic, Rosalka does 1. So let's do 1 damage to this. And we've got 2 more nodes revealed. Have we got anything that can do 3? We have. We've got Kikimora. So let's do that. Another Kikimora would be good to do that one. So we've actually decreased the alertness by 2 as a result of that hack. And we've got 4 we need to do. So let's get a bit of draw going, see what we can get. Kresnik. Target home node. Damage every revealed non-captured node for 1. Yeah, okay, let's try that. So that's down to 3 now, that's down to 1. We can actually do 3 damage to this. And this one, damage the node for 1 every turn. Let's just see if after 1 turn that will just capture and end it for us. I'm hoping it will. Completed. I'm going to jack out. And yeah. We've now opened up the path for Alex to proceed a bit. She doesn't need to do that. So we're going to switch back to Alex. We don't need to do that lock, so we'll go to the fight we've got here. We've got a security turret, and we have another one of those drones. We've got preparation. Draw 2 cards, then discard a card. Following a B, only draw 2 cards instead. So if we... Yeah, okay, so that's... If we can play a B first, and then that one, we'll fill our hand up again. That's quite good. Again, we probably want to follow an A. So maybe... Let's start with a slash. Let's take down the turret first. Now I'm going to do this, and we'll gain AP. And I'm going to do this, and we're going to draw 2 cards. Okay, so what have we got now? We've got more focus, so we could gain more AP if we follow an A. I'd quite like to get more card draw, though. Doesn't really matter which way round we do this, but maybe alternating would be a good idea. So if we did B first, again, let's put any damage we can do into this turret. We'll draw a card with that. We've got more focus, so we can still gain AP if we follow an A. So I might do that now. So we're back to 3. We can draw a card. If we... More card draw. If we follow an A, we'll gain haste next turn. That might be good. I think we'll alternate that. I think we'll do quick attack. I think we'll charge. Oh, I had to... Man, I forgot I had to discard. So that's basically our turnover. I think we were doing pretty well till then. We got through like 10 cards. But we're going to take some damage now. Oh, well, I've got to discard a card as a result of this. Oh, that's healing. Okay, so what have we got? We've got the big finisher again, so we want to follow a B to do 6 damage. That will take care of the turret if we do that. If we start with an A... I think we'll do this way. Let's put damage onto this drone now, so we know we can kill the turret. We want to... card. We want to gain haste for next turn still, that'd be good. B, we'll gain some AP with... No, we want to do the big finisher now, I think. So we should be able to kill this off. There we go. And we can deal 4 damage and discard a card. It doesn't matter because that's our last card, so we've nothing to discard. So it's affecting our haste again. We saw that in the last combat. That happened as well. That's fine. We've still got 3. It's got 7 AP, so what can we... 7 HP, so what can we do? And we can do 6 with that as long as we follow a B. do this first. Draw a card. We want to follow a B, so I'm going to have to... Dang. Kind of misplayed that one, I think. Should win on the next turn, though. It's poisoned us, and I think the poison is applied at the beginning of our turn, so we're going to take a bit more HP damage here. No, possibly not. Alright, well, let's just do this. There we go. Outcomes, we've got a card, Toxic Healing. Let's go to the deck builder. So where is that? I don't know. Okay, do we do it now? No. I'm not sure. I assume unless we do it here. Ah, okay. So where's this Toxic Healing card that it said that we got? Unless I didn't take it. I thought I did. Oh, here we go. Ah, there's stuff. Okay, I see. Okay, yes. There's cards here that I didn't know about. That's 8 cost. Costs 1 less for each card in your garbage. That's the discard pile. That's interesting. 6 HP to self and gain poison 2. If following a B, gain poison 1 instead. Okay. Okay. That's a net heal. Storm of Steel. Deal 0 damage equal or deal damage equal to the number of cards you played this turn. Again, that's pretty good. Deal 2 damage X times. If following a B, return this card to your hand. What is X? Usually these cards mean X is the amount of action points you have. Well, I think we're going to want to add some of these. Let's take some of these other cards out then. I know it's 0 cost, but maybe we can at least take one of those out. These are essentially the same, aren't they? So we can add 2. I think we should definitely add a heal to the deck. Quite like this one. Oh, I don't have these cards. Okay, I was given that card, but these are cards I could get but don't have copies of. Okay, well, in that case, let's add... another finisher card. I haven't seen many of those. Alright, let's go into dialogue.
Okay, Zoya. I'm inside the restricted zone. What's your status?
Hey, hi. So, I managed to get into the public study rooms more or less without problems. And I found myself a nice little console away from the prying eyes.
You said more or less without problems. What do you mean by that? Zoya, if you think you've been made, we need to abort. It's not worth the risk.
No. I'm fine. Really, no worries. Besides, we need this thing. We may not have another chance like this.
All right. But at the first sight of trouble, you let me know, okay?
Roger that.
Have you managed to find where our target might be stored?
Still working on it. Looks like there's some corruption in the index data. But I'll find it. Don't worry.
But it is here, right?
Well, I mean, it should be. If the intel was good. It's just a matter of finding the right server. But you should definitely try to make your way to the top floors. Sensitive software like this is stored there.
Understood. Keep me updated. And be careful. But also hurry up. I can't be seen wandering door to door here until we locate the damn thing.
Okay, so alertness is now at 5 out of 15. Hopefully we're going to have other opportunities to reduce that. I guess we'll see. Maybe in the hacking step there. Let's go here. Alex spied the security room at the end of the hall and approached it stealthily. The room was empty, surprisingly, so she decided to take a quick look around. However, she knew she had to be quick. The longer she stayed, the greater the risk of being caught. Let's check the security console. There we go. I was hoping that might be the case. The security console was online with someone still logged in. Whoever forgot to sign out could possibly be back soon. She scrolled through the security logs and came across alerts regarding her recent movements. With a few simple commands, she deleted them to cover her tracks. Yes, we've reduced our alertness again back down to 2. I'd imagine we get one more shot. Might be less. Let's look through the weapon cabinets. We got a card, Shuriken Throw. She was surprised to find an ample supply of firearms in the lockers. Vortex security apparently don't mess around, having this much firepower in a measly archive building. Guns aren't really her thing, but she finds a sleek, tactical shuriken in a cabinet that catches her eye. It could prove useful in the future, or at the very least make a nice keepsake. We took too long. Alex's search was cut short as 2 guards entered the room. With a shocked expression in their faces, they looked her up and down and quickly realised she definitely shouldn't be there. Without asking any questions, they grabbed their weapons. Right. Okay, what do we got? We got one at 20 health. Another thing to mention, you can see their intentions above their head. They're both going to attack, but this one is also going to play some sort of utility card. This one's got 15 health. Okay, what can we do? So if this one follows a B, which is quick attack, if we start with an A, let's start with... I'd quite like to gain haste. Alright, let's start with this. Let's try and take down the lower health guy first, perhaps. I forgot about this. Let's get rid of one of the slashes. So we played an A. Now we can get haste next time by just playing this one. Now I'm going to use the big finisher to do 6 damage. And we've still got a slash we can use for another 1. There we go. Let's give himself shield. I don't know if that runs out at the end of a turn. When I use shield, it does. But we'll see what happens with him. In any case, we're going to attack this guy. Draw 2 cards. If we follow a B, we don't have to discard. So let's gain... I want to follow an A. Alright, let's finish this guy off. Then I want to gain another AP. Then we can draw another couple of cards. Played an A. Gain another AP. I mean, I don't think we'll need it, although some of this can do card draw. Although they're all Bs, so that's not really going to apply. Well, we could do 1. Let's get 1 card. It might help. To C. So if this follows a B, we'll draw a card. So that's good. So let's play a B. Attack. So we'll do this one and gain a... Draw a card and gain an AP. That's good. Defense, that could be useful. Again, it's a B card, so we can't really do a lot about the combos, so we'll just play these, or another one. Focus, doesn't really matter that now. We'll deal the damage. There we go, we've got another... it doesn't really matter. So we'll just end turn. Actually, focus stayed in our hand. That's good to know. Okay, we shielded the damage. What have we got? So that needs to follow a B, that needs to follow an A. We have an A. Yeah, we can get some more card drawer. Maybe we'll... Let's gain the shield first. Then we'll uppercut. Ooh, got healing. Let's do focus. Now, which one do we want more? Probably the card draw. Let's do that. Ooh. Well, we'll do 3 damage. This does cost 2 though, so actually I'm going to heal. It will mean taking a bit of poison damage, but hey. Okay. Right, so we're taking the 2 poison damage. It is at the beginning of our turn. Maybe because it's self-applied? I don't know. These are all A, so combos are going to be pretty light on the ground. Let's do the card draw, and I'll discard that slash. Well, I can't play all these cards, can I? Maybe we'll get rid of one of those charge. So we could gain a haste. Yeah. We'll play this one and get another action point. Oh, discard. So what do we want to do? Get rid of the free one, I suppose. Right, we're getting there. So we used that heal on 13, didn't we? We're on 14 now. I mean, it's. I guess it's still a positive gain, isn't it? Let's do this big finisher. So we want to use a B. So yeah, we'll start with follow through, and then we'll use this big finisher. I mean, even without the doubling the damage, it would be enough. But there we go. We got 50 coins, 50 euros. Let's go into our deck builder, because we got a card, didn't we? We got Shuriken Throw. If following a B, return to your hand. That's pretty nice, actually. So let's get rid of... what did I add? We got lots of A's, so maybe I'll take this one out. And we'll add in a Shuriken Throw. There we go. First aid, that sounds good. Alex finds a first aid station. It might be a good idea to take a look at some of her wounds. So yeah, we're going to patch ourselves up. Back to full health, that's good. We might as well do this intel part. Alex continued on her way through the upper levels of the archive building. As she sneaked through the empty hallways, she immediately noticed that the silence of the deserted corridors was suddenly disturbed by an approaching sound. Push on. She heard it only faintly at first, but as the sound got closer, she could clearly make out footsteps echoing down the hallway. Whoever it was, they were coming her way and approaching fast. The risk of being detected was high. Alex has to decide what to do quickly. Let's hide in the shaft. Alex sprang to the ventilation shaft not too far away from her. She skillfully removed the grating and quickly crawled in, closing it behind her just in time. She remained hidden inside until the footsteps passed around and then finally receded into the distance. Push on. We did lose 3 health. When she crawled out again and the rest of the situation had finally fallen off, Alex noticed a sharp pain in her arm. She tried to shake it off as she continued on. So we're down 3 HP, but we avoided a fight and possibly losing more HP through that, so... Switch back to Zoya. We're going to go into this area. With Alex inside, Zoya can now concentrate on finding the codebreaker. As per Carol's intel, its former owner was a small failed arms company called HeistRobotics Limited. Search in the public registry turned up only basic company info, but nothing substantial about their assets or where they ended up when the company folded. The data she's after is most likely barred behind special access permissions. Zoya surveyed the study room once more, just to be sure. With a few taps on her deck, she ran multiple programs, breaking through the cascade of registry's barriers. After a while, she was able to access a list of all the relevant companies and their assets stored here in the archives. Well, I guess we'll search for Codebreaker. Oh, we increased alertness. We're at 6 out of 15 now. It was a long shot, but maybe someone really filed an item under this name. Zoya's deck pinged her with an alert notification. It seems that her keyword search had raised red flags within the grid's security protocols, and now its ICE programs were tracing her connection. Oh dear. Zoya acted swiftly, initiating cloaking subroutines to throw off the trace and mask her location. And just as abruptly as it began, the trace was gone and her deck's alarms silenced. Oh! Though she knew her programs couldn't have been the sole cause of this, it was clear that this particular data stream was no longer secure. So actually, we're back down to 3. So that worked out all right. We need to look for another. Okay, so we'll look to take the other choice here. Apparently, the company filed for insolvency in 2038, got all of its assets frozen, and they only recently moved here for long-term storage. When Zoya attempted to access the asset database, her connection got abruptly cut off. Despite her repeated attempts, she was unable to access that data node again. Strange. All these strange occurrences were starting to bother her. Was her deck causing some kind of system glitches on the console, or was it something else entirely? Nevertheless, she was running out of options. Look into the archive datamap. The safest way was to manually look through the datamap of the archives, aiming to find the physical location of the server housing Istrobotics Limited data. It was a laborious process, but Zoya was better ideas at this point. Decryption of the data revealed an intricate web of interconnected server nodes. She sighed as she began to enter inputs into her seeker algorithm. Oh goodness, what's happening here? Oh, I think the things you get here under the text, I think, is the aggregate of what happened at this location. She suddenly noticed something strange. Data markers began to create a heat map concentrated around a specific cluster of nodes. Puzzled, she diagnosed her seeker algorithm and saw it continuously improving. She quickly initiated her hunter programs to determine other devices connected to this section of the grid. The markers suddenly stopped appearing, clearly highlighting the cluster in section 6. Okay, we're up to 4 out of 15 now, so we're going to do another hacking opportunity. Finding the codebreaker's location will be worth nothing if Alex won't be able to get to it. Zoya begins scouring the grid for a way into the building's security systems. There were limits to what she could achieve from this console, but she was determined to assist Alex in whatever way she could. Scanning the grid for vulnerabilities with her seeker programs, Zoya was surprised to find an open security port in an area that should have been off limits. She quickly verified the connection, and though it was risky, she knew this was her best chance. Time was of the essence. Enter the grid. Okay. So we have... we could probably reduce our alertness quite a lot here if we're lucky. Damage target node for 1, then damage all received non-capture nodes directly connected to it for 1. Interesting. Capture target node, possible. But we're just going to use the 2 that we've got here to do that. We could capture that node. We could actually capture... There we go. We found a maintenance corridor pass. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, at this point I want to get some card draw. 1, 1, 3. Well. 3. 1. We got a server corridor pass, okay. We've got 1 left. I think I might end the turn though. Just because we don't know, we might get a 3 in the next round, so. Kikimura, there we did. We got a 3. Let's capture this one as well, might as well. And then we'll do this one. We got storage sections access, so yeah, we can get out of there now. Alertness increased. I thought maybe one of those security nodes would decrease that, but apparently not. Alright, back to Alex. So we've got a branching path up ahead. One's definitely got a fight. We're not sure what the others have.
Hey, Alex, I think I got something.
Do we finally know where the codebreaker is?
Getting there. I managed to narrow it down to servers in Section 6. But there's something else.
Yes? Is something wrong?
I don't know yet. Something seems off. It seems as if someone was repeatedly trying to send me multiple data packages through the grid.
Someone on the inside? Does that mean we're burned? Should we abort?
So far, whoever it is, they were helping us. Disabling alert flags, pointing me to the right nodes in the grid and such.
That sounds strangely convenient. I don't like this, but we proceed with the plan. We're too close to turn back now.
Understood. I'll try to trace the source.
Let's focus on the primary objective. And Zoya?
Yes, yes. Be careful, I know.
Okay, we got both of these, so let's ask about them in turn. The security and the maintenance
Any
corridor.
intel about the security up ahead?
You could use the maintenance corridor to proceed. I was able to disable the security there.
Oh, nice work. Thanks.
How about the other one?
I'm nearing the server sections. Any intel about the security there?
I managed to disable multiple countermeasures, but some were inaccessible from here. So it's still possible you might run into something there.
Understood. Thanks for the heads up.
Okay, so we... I mean, I think, although, you know, the card battle is a part of it, I don't know if we're going to need... And there is first aid there. Let's just continue with this for now. So let's go on this one where we know there's not a fight. Or rather... Yeah, you know what I mean. As per the building schematics, there's a maintenance level above each server room, with cooling systems and service access to the electronics and wiring. But the Yggdrasil engineers aren't known to leave any security loopholes, so some countermeasures are to be expected. Well, I can use the pass that we got. Thankfully, Zoya has managed to disable the security measures in this area, allowing Alex to proceed without any troubles. Okay, we're halfway through our alertness now, so we're going to go here. Oh, got a fight anyway. Got a drone and a baton guard. Okay, the drone's going to do a couple of non-attack things. They're all going to do non-attacks. If I had to guess, both of them are probably going to try and shield up a bit. Oh, we got a free B. Oh, that might be quite good, actually. Let's do that. So, let's do the baton guard first. Let's see this. So I'm expecting this to do 6 damage total. It's nice that we have this choice of how much we spend, actually. Okay, well, let's do 2 for now. And it comes back in our hand as expected. So we've used an A. I think we probably use the 4 damage card as well. Let's discard the healing. I don't know if we'll need that in this fight. Alright, so it's slowing. So we're only going to have 2 AP in this next round, I think. Oh, wow. Does it slow us twice in 1 turn, or slow us for 2 turns? I guess we'll see. Yeah. Touché, drone, touché. I don't have any free attacks in this hand, so what's the best I can do? It's like it's barely getting through its shield, is it? I should probably keep the big finisher for next time, although I don't have any B, so let's use up this uppercut. It's only going to do damage to his shield, but hey. What was I saying about the healing? No, poison! Okay, so I'd like to do big finisher to get the guard. So if we do a B to gain the shield, if I do an A first. We gain another action point. But that's a waste of the card draw. Alright, we're going to shield, and then we'll do the big finisher. So he's gone. His shield seems to be permanent. So we're gonna have to damage it, aren't we? Alright, that's So you want the shurikens to go after a bee. We have a free bee. A freebie. So we can actually get another card draw as well from this. I think we play both of these actually. Ooh, yeah, okay. I can actually do all three of those. And I'm gonna gain an AP. And now we can use this and also gain a card. That wasn't a free one, unfortunately. Although we still have a shuriken. Alright, it's gonna have one HP left, isn't it? Well, this doesn't really matter. Let's just finish it. Omni Slash. Right, well, let's have a look at our deck builder. What's the Omni Slash? Costs 1. Oh, okay. That seems pretty cool. I actually would quite like to get that. So let's maybe take out... I might take out one of those. They're kind of basic. Omni Slash. So we're coming up for a first aid area. That sounds good. Hopefully it does some nice healing at 10 HP. Thank you very much. 9 out of 15, but we're at our target location here, so... Section 6. Alex finally arrived at the designated section of the server area. The security seemed to be less tight here. Though odd, she was grateful for the momentary reprieve. She couldn't shake off the frustration as she scanned the endless rows of racks, each looking the same as the other. There was no way of knowing which one housed the software they're after. Hopefully Zoya found that out by now.
Zoya, I'm in Section 6, looking at a lot of servers over here. Care to narrow it down?
I pinpointed the package to the server 2501. But Alex, wait.
What is it? We're a little against the clock here.
That odd communication I mentioned earlier? I traced its source, and it's either originating or it's being rerouted through that exact server.
What? Okay, what does that mean?
It means it could be a trap. Once you log into that console, it could trigger like 1,000,000 countermeasures, and we're toast. I can try to manually bypass that.
You are doing no such thing, Zoya. Stay where you are.
You said it yourself. We're too close to turn back now. Zoya out.
No, Zoya! Shit!
There we go, so Zoya's got a couple of extra steps now. Suddenly we're at alertness 10 out of 15, so hopefully she's going to find a way to lower that. Time to move. Zoya quickly ran the purge programs to cover her tracks, only to find that the logs were already wiped clean. The work of her mysterious benefactor, no doubt. Without wasting a moment, she stood from the console and headed straight for the stairwell, ignoring the no entry for unauthorized personnel sign as she pushed the doors open. Racing against time, Zoya charged up the 6 levels of stairs that separated her from the restricted area's top floor. The surge of adrenaline made her reckless. It wasn't until the doors locked behind her that she realized she'd walked into a man-trap room. Through the reinforced glass, she could see the blinking lights of the servers of Section 6, Alex standing among them with a furious expression on her face. Zoya tugged at the server room door, but as the red light above the door suggested, they were locked tight. Alex's expression turned to terror. They were so close, only to mess it up with such a stupid mistake. But just as Zoya was bracing for the sound of alarms and the arrival of squads of security guards, the light above the door suddenly switched to green, and the doors opened with a short hiss. Zoya let out a sigh of relief, followed by a shaky laugh. She turned to Alex, whose expression mirrored her own confusion. Nodding at each other, they wordlessly agreed to reflect on what had just happened later. Now we've got work to do, Zoya thought to herself, as she approached the server 2501 and plugged in her deck. Okay, we're ready to do some hacking. Ooh. This is a dilly of a pickle. Alright, so we need a 1. That sounds pretty good. Do that. Now we've got a 2. We'll do a Strigger. Now we have a 3. Let's do the Kikimora. Okay, so what is this? It's got a lot of defense, I know that much. Ooh, will this work? It will. Wow, we've got 500 euros, nice. Strigger for 2, okay. Damage every revealed non-captured node for 1, okay. Right. Well, as you can see, we don't have AP, but we do have a maximum of 3 turns left until we're traced, so quite a lot in 1 turn, must be said. I'd like another one of those ones that just captures. Well, we've got some draw, so that's good. Let's start working on this. Can't capture that as it's the exact amount. Yeah, let's get some more cards. Perun, destroy target node. I don't want to do that. Guess we'll do 1. Put the werewolf on. Let's do another draw. Oh, Zmiev. Yeah, we'll do you for 5. Strigger for 2. How about that? We've got another 500. Now we only need to do 1 damage. Baba Yaga. Oh, the Mora. That'll do. Perfect. Gained access. Got an unknown package. Let's get ready. Let's go.
I've bypassed the server defenses. Package download in progress. Shit. I set off multiple alarms. I'll try to disable them, but we've got incoming.
Of course we do. I'll deal with that.
Oh, look at that. 30. Oh, it's got 30 HP plus 15 shields. Yikes. One thing our deck doesn't have is a lot of defense, so... So what have we got? We could get a card with a follow-through. Oh. Yeah, okay. Let's do that. Now we've got focus. If we're following an A, we'll gain... oh yeah, let's get 2 card draw. And we'll get some more AP. Following an A, we'll just gain AP. Yeah, do that. If we follow an A, that'll be good. Yep, this is good. More AP. Gotta discard. What should we discard? I'm gonna want the defense, I think. So let's get rid of that. Still chewing through its shield. Yep. Gain another AP. Now we can damage for 6. There we go. Well, it was quite a successful turn, but you know, we're still not even chipping into its HP yet. 2 random cards discarded. That's a bit of a drag. Okay. haven't got a bee to follow, which is going to be a bit rubbish. Alright, well, we're going to have to discard one, but let's see what we get. Omni Slash. Ooh, that's going to be basically free. Let's get rid of this one. So it's a free cost. I guess we'll do this. And now we can do 8 damage. Not bad. Okay. Still got that heal on us. Don't need to worry too much about that just yet. Following a bee, it returns. So what bee have we got? Well, we've got follow through. Just wondering if we start with this as well. Let's start with this, and then we'll get another card as well. There we go. We can actually... well, that'll give us AP, so we might as well play that. Don't want to discard the healing as anything. We'll discard that. Use that, we'll use all AP on it. He's down to 11. Right. Want to follow a bee with this one, I think. Basically a free attack now. Oh, did I play that out of order? I may have played that out of order. No, we'll get rid of that one. This is actually a kill. Do it. We can upgrade follow through. Okay. Cool, I didn't know about this. So, all copies will be changed into the upgraded versions. That's cool. So we could either double the damage, or instead of, we could change the card draw to an additional 3 damage. I mean, I'm going to take that, I think. But it's a moot point because I'm pretty sure this is the end of the demo.
Zoya? We have to go.
Download complete. But wait, that's strange.
What is it?
This is not what we were looking for. We've been played. It's...
Good evening. May I suggest we leave the premises? There are multiple hostiles incoming.
Shit.
I think that's the end of the demo. It is. Well, I have already wishlisted it on Steam. So in my 15-minute initial playthrough that just to test, I already thought this is looking really good and up my alley. It's I like Cyberpunk, I like sci-fi, I like card games, and hacking stuff. Yeah, this just seems like it could be good. I quite like the art style. I think the voice acting that I've seen all seems pretty good. I enjoy the having to think of the right combos with those cards to try and sort of optimize your hand. It's at once simple to understand and yet you have to put a bit of thought into it to actually get the most out of it, which is nice. So yeah, no, I'm looking forward to this. I don't think it's got a release date yet. It's supposed to come out this year, I think. But yeah, I think it's looking pretty good. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you have, then please do hit the thumbs up button. Leave me a comment. What did you think of the game? Is it something you've heard of before? It's the first time hearing of it, and do you like the look of it? Let me know. And lastly, if you could subscribe, if you're watching this video and haven't done so already, that would be absolutely amazing. So thanks very much, and I'll hope to see you elsewhere on Boring Dad Gaming for more content. Bye for now.